Hi, one forum news brings you the best. Please kindly subscribe to this channel. Your comment and your likes will be highly appreciated. Yes, today we're taking a look at something that is a paradox of democracy in Africa. Yes, when you take a critical look at all the countries in Africa that are attempting to practice democracy, they have one lapses or the other when it comes to the excellent practice of democracy. Some can say that maybe it's because of the localization of democracy in most African countries. But are we going forward as a continent when it comes to democracy? I can mention South Africa, they are doing very well. I can mention Ghana, they are doing very well. I can mention some other countries in Africa that are also doing well. Currently, Senegal, they also did well in a smooth transfer of power. And some other few countries in Africa, they are doing splendidly well, yes. But is that the kind of democracy that we want as a continent? Some other countries, recently, some of them have been taken over by the military junta as a result of coup. We will not be happy with that because we are advocates of democracy, because that is a tried and tested form of governance all over the world, and that is what we assign to and will always promote and push forward for the whole of Africa. But let's take a look at something. The whole of Africa, when they talk about democracy, all that the leaders or the elites talk about is election. Yes, they will tell you that we are running an election after the tenure of government one or government two. They run election, and if the one that is incumbent, that is the incumbent president, is supposed to go again, ideally, most of them are supposed to run for just 2 terms. But based on their constitution, that some of them even influence in putting in place, they are protected and they can run for the number of terms and years that they want to run. But the ideal one that is accepted by those that are practicing the proper form or the caricature form of the proper democracy that we have in the world, they try to do the 2 terms, 5 years or 4 years. We applaud them for that. They are doing very well. But it seems that democracy of Africa is just been reduced to just voting, that is election. And that is what we are seeing all over the place. Because take a look at it. Most of these countries, free speech is being hijacked. You can express your view. That is freedom of expression is there. But freedom after the expression, that is what nobody can guarantee. Yes, it's happening all over Africa. You will be in your room, utter your words, say your things, but at the end, you may be chased and arrested, depending on how responsible per the measures and the assessment by the laws of a given country, how responsible your statements are, is then that you will be prosecuted or sent to prison or treated harshly. That is what is happening in the whole of Africa. So there is a need for the whole of Africa continent to sit up and decide. Is it that we decide to do this we call democracy in our own way? That is what we are seeing. There should be freedom of expression, as I said. The legislature should be allowed to work. That's the parliament. They should be allowed to work. But what do we see? Most of the parliaments in Africa, talking about the whole of Africa, most of the parliaments have become rubber stamps. Because mostly, when you take a critical look at all the countries in Africa that are practicing the democracy, though not absolutely, but trying their best, all that they are doing is mostly they have majority in parliament. And once the incumbent government is having majority in parliament or in the legislature, there is no way that bills will not be passed in favor of the government because they have the majority. It's only in some few cases that it has to be 2/3 of majority or whatever it is before they can be able to approve or pass some bills. But mostly when it comes to budgets, approval, and other things, it's just a straight majority. But is that what we want as a continent? If that is what we want, why not? Let's keep on doing it. But let there be some very serious measures in place so that we can also practice the democracy and enjoy it. Yes, we are doing it, but it seems this day and age, most of the youth in politics, the new guys, the young guys who are not experienced, they take this democracy as a joke. And when given the least opportunity, that is to express themselves, they tend to insult. That is what we see all over African countries, yes. You see young guys insulting the old people. It is as if those that insult most, they are the ones that are given juicy appointment or respect or positions to speak for those political parties in those countries. That is what we are seeing. But is that the way to go? No. Why? Because all these young guys, they will be the ones that will grow one day. And if these people are the future leaders, and they are being allowed to insult the old people in politics, the future is very bleak for all of us. That is why we need to practice the democracy. Once you want to copy something from elsewhere, Europe or the West, you must do it properly so that you get the full benefit of what we call the democracy. Democracy is beautiful. We advocate for it. But we count on our leaders so that strong institutions will be built and decisions be taken so that the democracy will last forever in the whole of Africa. It shouldn't just be reduced to just an election. No, it shouldn't be just about voting, because that is the time that you see the citizens exercising their franchise. That's the time that you see citizens partaking. You send people to parliament to do their own bidding. They forget about you. But the only time that a citizen feel that a country is practicing democracy in Africa is through voting. That is the only time. But let's do our best so that things can be done properly, so that democracy will be very beautiful in Africa, so that people from elsewhere will rather come and learn from our democracy. If there is a need for us to localize it and garnish it with our local system to achieve success, why not? Let's do it. But let's do it with all the necessary things that will make it beautiful for the admiration for all. Please, for more about discussions like this, kindly subscribe to this channel, One Forum News. For anything and everything about politics of Africa and historical antecedents, for anything about crime and security, we'll be here to discuss and analyze everything for your understanding. Your comments and your likes will be highly appreciated. For this very topic, please comment. Do you think that democracy in Africa is going somewhere? If it's going somewhere, let us know. Thank you so much. Kindly subscribe.